Two heads, one tail, yang yin. Two tails, one head, yang yang. Three heads, old yang. Two tails, one head, yang yang. 2 tails, 1 head, Yang Yang. Three heads, Old Yang. Our bottom trigram of our primary hexagram will be read as broken, solid, solid. This is the trigram. Xun, wind or wood. Xun is both wind and living plants. Whatever penetrates, spreads, and grows, shaping itself to the space available, or shaping that space to its own nature. She is responsive flexibility, sensitively improvising and adapting. Like the wind, she can always find a way through because she never creates any resistance, and so her influence is subtle and gradual, but far-reaching. In the family of trigrams, Xun is the eldest daughter, gentle and submissive. She belongs to the southeast and to late spring and early summer. The top or outer trigram of our primary hexagram will be read as solid, solid, solid. This is Qian heaven. Qian is suprahuman cosmic law. Enduring, he determines the nature and development of all things, from the movement of the stars to the cycle of the seasons, to causing each individual seed to grow into its own kind of plant. Heaven is creativity in its pure form, the force that drives change and what endures within it. He confronts us with truth and what it demands, both as the absolute law of nature and as the challenge of individual calling, experienced as an inner law. He is both the awareness of what to do and how to be, and also the power to act on it. Heaven is Father, found in the northwest, the realm between autumn and winter, when the buds set and seeds fall to earth. Qian heaven above Xun, wind or wood, gives us hexagram 44. Once our third and sixth lines transform from Old Yang to Young Yin, our bottom or inner trigram for our supporting hexagram will be broken, solid, broken. This is Kan, water. Kan is deep water, flowing and formless. He is the complement of Li, which is fire and light, dark where Li is bright, unconscious to her sharp lucidity, and represents a more fluid, intuitive, and emotional way of perceiving. This is danger, exposure, and solitude, and the need to respond with courageous self-reliance when confronted by the haunting unknown. Water is the middle sun, situated in the north, associated with midwinter and midnight. Our top or outer trigram will be read for our supporting hexagram as solid, solid, broken. This is the trigram. Dewy, lake or marsh. Dewy is lake and marsh, abundant energy that teems with life. She is the impulse to communicate, share, and exchange, and delights in both inner and outer conversation. She brings things into circulation and gives them voice. This is the sheer enjoyment of participating in life to the full, expressing ourselves and hearing others and satisfying our desires. Lake is the youngest daughter, spirit of the fertile west and of autumn. Dewy, lake or marsh above calm water. Give us the supporting hexagram 47. We will get the titles to our hexagrams from I-ming's Taoist I Ching, which he wrote in 1796 as a Taoist adept. It's quite alchemical in nature. Hexagram 44, I-ming calls. Where'd you go? This is the first time we've done this. All right, thank you. Hexagram 44. Boop-a-doo. Meeting. Warding off negative influences. Preserving the positive. And our supporting hexagram, which puts our primary hexagram in a broader context and influence, a direction of travel, an underlying issue that has to do with you and your relationship to it all. Hexagram 47, Exhaustion, refining body and mind. So together, it's meeting exhaustion. Sounds exhilarating. We'll start by reading from Hilary Barrett's I Ching, Walking Your Path, Creating Your Future, which is a nice introductory I Ching commentary. I highly recommend you pick up a copy. Has a lot of really helpful stuff right at the beginning to get somebody started. Roll an I Ching right away. Hexagram 44, our primary hexagram, Hilary Barrett calls coupling. The question we bring to the I Ching when we consult the oracle will always have the general context of how can I act in creative relation with the spirits or forces shaping this moment of time. Key questions. What would be an adequate response to this new energy? How far could this change go? How far will you let it go? Oracle. Coupling. The woman is powerful. Do not take this woman. Coupling means meeting, and also a woman who gives birth to the heir, the powerful woman. She represents someone of either sex or something with a profound and mysterious power to attract you, to take over, and to change everything. She moves you, re-energizes, and gives birth to new life. The oracle warns you not to take the woman, not to try to seize control of her, and not to marry her. Do not imagine that you can bring her under control, assimilate her into your life, and continue as before. Such a marriage cannot last. This woman has more power than any system where you might try to contain her. She might bring desires that undermine a well-balanced life, or an eruption of feeling into a realm of abstractions, or chance and irrationality to threaten a logical, ordered mind. Perhaps you will stand fast and resist this power's attraction. Perhaps you will embrace her briefly and let your life be transformed by the encounter. But you cannot take her to marry her. She doesn't look that bad. Come on. Image. Below heaven is the wind, coupling. The prince sends out mandates and commands to the four corners of the earth. The wind travels everywhere under heaven and penetrates every corner of the world. The prince receives the mandate, orders from heaven, and it penetrates to his core and travels through him. He cannot control or contain such power, but he can broadcast it to change his whole realm. Sequence. Coupling follows from hexagram 43, deciding. Breaking through must mean meeting, and so coupling follows. Coupling means meeting. Hexagram 43 broke through indecision and separated cleanly from all that did not belong. Now, whatever you excluded comes back to meet you and opens a space where unknowable possibilities can enter. And our supporting hexagram 47, Exhaustion, which puts our primary hexagram in a broader context and influence, a direction of travel, an underlying issue that has to do with you and your relationship to it all. Hilary Barrett calls confined. Key questions. What if you could only rely on yourself? Who are you when you are alone? Oracle. Confined. Creating success. Constancy of a great person. Good fortune. Not a mistake. There are words not trusted. The Chinese character for confined or oppressed shows a tree completely encircled by walls, an image of entrapment and isolation. You are cut off and cannot reach out to others. The great person finds good fortune in constancy to an inner ideal. This is the supreme test of character. Whether you can hold to your purpose when there is no encouragement, no confirmation from outside, but only your own inner resources. The lack of outward signs of progress does not mean that you are wrong or that the world is wrong. Rather than resenting the walls, concentrate on the life and growth within them. Do not place too much value on words. They will not provide you with a way out. Neither conversation, nor argument, nor your own reasoning and theorizing. Words alone are only circulating ideas. They lack the real personal connection that would make them trustworthy. Image. Lake without water, confined. A noble one carries out the mandate, fulfills her aspiration. The lake water has all drained away into the stream below, where there might have been a sparkling center of vitality, communication, and exchange. There is no water left, no energy for communication. Even in such straits, a noble one is still active. The lake water drained downward and inward, merging with the stream in a single strong current. In the same way, a noble one lets her mandate, what she is called on to do, flow together with the aspiration of her own heart. The two strengthen one another and create an inner momentum that follows through to fulfillment. Sequence. Being confined follows from hexagram 46, pushing upward. Pushing upward and not reaching an end is naturally confining. You drive yourself upward, full of optimism, confidently expecting to reach your goal, and then you don't. And so you find yourself feeling trapped, exhausted by the climb, and also profoundly shaken and betrayed by the way things have failed to work out as they should. Pair. Confined forms a pair with hexagram 48, the well. The well is wholly connected. Confined means meeting together. By its nature, the well is already limitlessly connected, while the confined tree must reach down towards the water table. Reaching inward, you find help. Outwardly, the oppressive walls are unbroken, but what might the inner space open onto? We'll next go back to our changing lines. Pardon. 3 and 6 of our primary hexagram, which put a pin in the map to say you are here, or at least here are some places you may find yourself. They take precedence over all other elements and are the most focused part of the reading. Changing line 3 has the general context, an emerging identity, facing a transition, with fear or desire, resolution or indecision. And changing line 6, beyond the main action, reviewing experience, asking what comes next. Hexagram 44, coupling, changing line 3. Thighs without flesh, moving awkwardly now. Danger, no great mistake. You, the great, was charged by heaven with the task of conquering the floods, and his thighs wasted away with the decades of hard labor. You are coupled to a demanding task, responsibility, or situation. It is awkward, uncomfortable, and endlessly hard work. It does not allow you to rest, and you never asked for it. The demands and your emotional reaction against them threaten to undermine your equilibrium. And yet, this is real, authentic work you are doing, and you have the resources for it. However difficult it gets, you can keep moving. And changing line 6. Coupling with your horns, shame, not a mistake. You meet the incoming energy, the subversive feminine power described in the oracle, with lowered horns. You cannot possibly live with this power, and you will go to extremes to prevent it from overturning everything. Perhaps you ward it off as a threat, or lock horns preemptively to wrestle it into submission. In either case, you are trying to take back control and ensure any relationship only proceeds on your own terms. This combative approach might work, but you will emerge with bruises and feeling that this clash was not a very adequate response. However, it is not wrong to use your horns. Grappling with this power and keeping control is probably the best you can do in the circumstances. Next, we will look at I-ming's Taoist I Ching, which he wrote in 1796 as a Taoist adept. Thought I saw something creepy. It's highly alchemical and a little bit 1796-y language going on here. Just so you know. Gotcha. Hexagram 44, meeting. Meeting the woman is strong. Don't get married. Explanation. Meeting means encounter, unexpected encounter. In the body of the hexagram, there is one yin, which enters under 5 yangs. 5 yangs meet one yin, so it is called meeting. This hexagram represents warding off mundanity and preserving celestial energy. It follows on the previous hexagram, increase. Increase means augmenting insufficient celestial energy. To augment what is insufficient means adding from 1 yang until there are 6 yangs, so that finally positive celestial yang is pure and complete. However, when yang culminates, yin is inevitable. 1 yin surreptitiously arises and the yang energy is damaged. This is why the text says, meeting, the woman is strong. However, the inevitability of yin when yang culminates is the path of the temporal, going along with creation. If one can borrow the earthly to complete the celestial, the sages' science of reverse operation to get back to the primordial, and as in the 2nd and 5th lines of this hexagram, have strength and balance, attaining the power to adapt to changes, having flexibility within firmness and firmness within flexibility, one can thereby go in and out of yin and yang without being constrained by yin and yang. Using yin without being used by yin is like meeting a woman but not marrying her. Though earthly yin energy be strong, after all it will obey celestial yang energy. Not only will the yang energy not be damaged, the yin energy will gradually sublimate. This is why the work of warding off mundanity is valued. And our supporting hexagram, which puts our primary hexagram in a broader context and influence, a direction of travel, an underlying issue that has to do with you and your relationship to it all. 47, exhaustion. Exhaustion develops the righteous. Great people are fortunate and blameless. If one complains, one will not be trusted. Explanation. Exhaustion means reaching an impasse. In the body of the hexagram, below is water, in which 1 yang is fallen in between 2 yins, above is lake, in which 1 yin is on top of 2 yangs. Both picture mundanity making inroads on the celestial, so that celestial energy does not come through. Therefore it is called exhaustion. As for the qualities of the hexagram, from the midst of danger, water, it produces joy, lake. Joy comes out of danger, so it also has the sense of resolving exhaustion, resolving an impasse. This hexagram represents polishing and refining body and mind. It follows on the previous hexagram, gathering. Gathering involves attaining joy by accord, whereby one gathers together the medicines, goes back to the fundamental, and returns to the original. But if one can only gather in ease and cannot gather in difficulty, this is still inability to accord, inability to rejoice. People who try to practice the Tao can all keep steadfast when they are in easy circumstances, but many of them waver in determination when they are in difficult or perilous situations. They may change their minds because of the pressures of making a living, or they may slack in determination due to illness. Their spirits may flag because of old age, or they may stop work because of obstruction by some obsession. All these are cases in which people do not exert the mind of Tao and are hindered by exhaustion, so they ultimately do not attain the Tao. If the mind is not exhausted, even though the body be exhausted, the path is not at an impasse, even though the situation presents an impasse, and one can be joyful even when in difficulty. Then there is a developmental aspect within exhaustion. But even though being able to rejoice even in difficulty is something people cannot fully attain, and there will inevitably be a point of exhaustion, nevertheless, if they become exhausted where they should not, they will not attain development. This is because the development aspect of exhaustion lies in being correct. Dealing with exhaustion correctly, growing correctly, While exhausted, one goes along in harmony with the time. Going along in harmony with the time is possible only for great people imbued with the quality of correct balance. Great people, while being very wise, appear to be ignorant. While being very skillful, they appear inept. Random thoughts do not occur to them, and they cannot be influenced by circumstances. Their conduct is unaffected, and they are not concerned with externals. Not only do they find good fortune wherever they go, wherever they are, they also accord with the order of life and are blameless. As for those who maintain concern, as for those whose main concern is food and clothing, they are untrustworthy in an impasse. They will take trouble in hopes of fortune, but as soon as things don't go their way, they show it in their words and expressions, complaining against heaven and blaming people. So blame goes along with them. How can this bring about good fortune? Those who deal with exhaustion and impasse rightly, who are able to be joyful even in difficulty, are great people. Those who